Hey everyone, you are listening to Beyond the Ring podcast, and today we are going to do the SummerSlam 1992 review. And guys, this is one of the best SummerSlam of all time, and I would say that this is the one of the best SummerSlam, arguably, and it's considered to be, and it's due to the fact that the main event was one of the best and the greatest main event that WWE has ever produced, and anyone cannot take it away. The story and the whole show overall, I thought that it was very fun, very comfortable, I would say. Even though I would like to say that some matches were just there, but I didn't understand what was happening. But I would say that this was very simple to watch through, and I enjoyed it to the fullest. And I'm not a very early 90s guy, and I haven't watched so many stuffs of the late 80s and early 90s. So watching this in the 92 pay-per-view, I would say that I was very comfortable to watch through, and it was very very fun. And we first kick it off this SummerSlam 1992 with the Money Inc., Ted DiBiase and IRS teaming up against Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal. And the first thing that caught my eye was the spectacle, man, and the fans. It was to be exact 80,553, and I'm not going for, I'm not going to the number because I'm not going after that, but this was such a great thing to, to listen and to experience, and the excitement and the enthusiasm that they actually brought about. And the opening of the show, it's so good. And especially and Legion of Doom kicking it off, it doesn't get even anything better, I would say. And at this time, I would like to say that LOD were the faces, and obviously Money Inc. were the heels. And this was a good start, I would say. A pretty good match, and the heels worked it out against the faces very well. And the faces got a great reaction, and a very eruptive reaction that they got. And I would say this was a match where a crowd actually already were pumped up, and it actually pumped up into a twice or double kind of a level, because the crowd was already into that mood. And the ending of the match, we saw Shyster actually distract the referee, and a classic kind of heel move and double clothesline spot by Hawk and Shyster knocked them both. And ending was like corner clothesline by Animal on DiBiase, and Hawk actually goes up to the top, and Jimmy Hart actually distracts the ref with a drop kick to knock Animal down, and Animal whipped DiBiase into Chester, and Chester was going to get knocked down onto the ringside from the apron, and Animal hit a power slam on DiBiase. It was simple, but it was perfect, and I would say that and the fans were very happy. A solid match, solid, pretty fun match that actually began this pay-per-view that we were expecting to be a great pay-per-view. And because of the main event that I was waiting for, and fans, obviously, I would say, were waiting for that at that time. And this is one of the and the only pay-per-view, only SummerSlam pay-per-view that WWE did at UK, at Wembley Stadiums, England. So that's a special thing that actually had a special place in the UK fans in their heart, and it's always going to be. And the fans are kind of urging and saying that WWE should come back to the UK and host a pay-per-view. And I'm very on to it, even though I am not from the UK. But the UK fans are so great, and so receptive, so positive. And yeah. And we also, the whole pay-per-view was onto the fact that whose corner the Mr. Perfect would be in. And it was Ric Flair was interviewed by Mean Gene Okerlund after this Hawk match backstage in the SummerSlam interview, and Flair's debut at SummerSlam it was, and Flair was in wrestling attire at the, and Flair said he's ready for any kind of match, and the story was about whose corner Mr. Perfect might be in during Savage versus Warrior for the WWE Championship, and Flair didn't answer Gene's question. So this whole thing this whole thing was getting played around into the whole SummerSlam pay-per-view. I would say they did the fantastic job in kind of having investigative nature that they did, and having something to, even though they were not going doing the clue, but it was laid down perfectly. And I liked very much, and I do wanted to see this kind of a thing, like building up what's it gonna be kind of thing. And I do like when you don't know what's gonna happen, and this is a time when internet wasn't there, man. It's 1992, so that's a thing as well. And we get to the next match. Before that, we have Virgil getting interviewed by Sean Mooney about his match with Nails, and Vince actually said that the WWE SummerSlam hotline, kids, make sure that's that usual thing. And we get to the second match, Nails versus Virgil, and at this time Nails was the heel and Virgil is the face. And Nails' gimmick was that of a former kind of a convict seeking revenge for on the world, because he thinks that because of the world he actually was convicted. And one of the thing I said, the whole Mr. Perfect situation, and the another thing I wanted to tell that Bobby Heenan was on the commentary, and you would be knowing what I'm saying, man. This was so much fun to listen to him and his one-liners and his joke, and Vince McMahon kind of reacting very cringy way. So fun, and literally life laughed at the in this pay-per-view so many times, and that actually got the mood actually forward, and it was fun to watch through. Even though this match at the Nails versus Virgil match, this was nothing match, but if you do this kind of match at today's environment, it would be like a the fans would be playing beach ball or something. And but this is not the case, because the commentators actually hooked the fans up, and who were watching at the home, them up as well, and into this whole pay-per-view. And that's one of the special quality that this pay-per-view uh, very has. And Nails was into the offense in the beginning of this match, some kind of a chokehold and some submission kind of maneuvers, sleeper with, and Virgil was out after that. And Virgil actually called the bell because Snails ref actually called the bell because Virgil wasn't answering to the ref, because Nails actually choked out Virgil, and that was the ending. This was a nothing match, an awful match, and this was one of the weak match in this show. And we then get over short backstage of Lord Alfred Hayes, and from here, Lord Alfred Hayes was kind of investigating that whose side is Mr. Perfect going to be? Is Mr. Perfect in the arena, and where he is kind of thing. And he was standing outside of Randy Savage's locker room for the whereabouts of Mr. Perfect. And Sensational Sherry was interviewed by Mean Gene. She was the manager of Shawn Michaels, and Mean Gene narrated some clips to show up to the build to this Michaels' Rick Martel story. The story was, she had a crush on Martel even though she managed Michaels. Sherry did a promo saying that both men have agreed to not hit each other in the face, that sexy face, they says, and they were not going to. That's a stipulation. They were not going to hit each other onto the face, and kind of a pure rules match at this time, because no closed fist, and Martel was already in the ring and he didn't got the entrance. Shawn Michaels gets his entrance, and he was with Sensational Sherry, and this time both guys were heel, kind of a heel, where fans were liking both of them. Shawn Michaels was liked by at that time as well, and he was breaking out as a single star at that time after breaking up with I think so with Marty Jannetty, his former tag team partner, the Rockers tag team, which was also very successful. And this match, even though this match was such a such a funny match, and because because the whole point was they want to impress Sherry, and that was the thing. Both Martel and Michaels were doing that. I mean, Michaels was not so much, because Michael was in the idea that Sherry is with Michaels, and Sherry didn't don't like Martel, but it is in the fact. And but Sherry was also, they were also kind of panning out her into the her reaction as well. So that was good, and many funny things. I mean, but the funny things aside, I would say that the wrestling that they did, it was so good, and they actually mold it out very perfectly, and lots of kind of the jockeying for control for the match, and that was good. And the kicks and the maneuvering around the ring, I would say it was smooth to see both guys doing the wrestling, and with funny stuff, and it's make it to a very fun match, I would say. And even though this if you see, this is not the match you remember after this pay-per-view, certainly, but it was a lot of fun, I would say. And in the ending of this match, it was too funny that both guys ended up slapping each other in the face, and Sherry was on the apron and yelling about not to do, and which led to her fainting on the apron. And Heenan had a funny line about how he knows when a woman faints, and Heenan was having just a fun, and Vince McMahon's reaction was so much good. And Michael checked on Sherry on the floor, and Martel shoved Michaels away and uh, did that mouth to mouth breather on her. The guys shoved each other outside the ring, and then it turned out in a slugfest as they went up the aisle, and the referee counted them out. And even though I wasn't caring about the match, I mean, I was enjoying the funny stuff that they had. And but this was a double disqualification match. But I would say whatever wrestling they did, that was good. And in the ending of the day, it got to a very fun way, and that the dynamic actually really worked well, and the fans were very happy and very very happy in a very uh, good way. And the finish was double disqualification, which is whatever it is. But I do like the funny stuff if they actually include it very nicely. And this was it. This was one of the thing. And in the ending post match, we saw Sherry was picked up by Rick Martel first, and then Shawn Michaels come, and then Rick Martel comes up, and both of them were having. And it's a long distance to the backstage. And the, and they were actually raging against each other, who is gonna pick up each other. And finally, Michaels had Sherry, and that was the ending. But man, she took a lot of bumps into the stadium. I mean, in that passage, so much. And there was also one thing where Martel actually had a bucket of water in his hands, and he tossed into Sherry, and she was left alone. And Michael chased after Martel, and she went after them. And that was the ending of this post match segment, and very fun. And we get to the Nasty Boys being interviewed by Sean Mooney in the locker room, and they are kind of pissed off not getting the tag team title opportunity. And Jimmy Hart says that they are one of the tag team, they are one of the number one contenders. And that was the segment. And the Beverly brothers were in the ring for a match, because the next match was for the WWE Tag Team Championship, or the WWF Tag Team Championship. Natural disasters, earthquake and tugboat versus the Beverly brothers, Bew and Blake. Beverly was the genius. So this is the natural disaster where heels at that time. And uh, and this natural distress we faced at the time. Sorry for that. And the Beverly brothers were heel challengers, and they this match was sloppy at times. This was just a big man versus small man, just a way to get through. I mean, it was nothing kind of match where the big guys, the faces, were getting trouble to get the tag, and the usual heel versus face stuff. Heels trying to get the tag on face. I mean, face getting trying to get the tag on, trying to get the tag, and heels kind of interrupting that and not getting to the tag, and then finally getting it. And the ending of this match, we saw big moves from Earthquake and got the hot tag to big ovation. And this is one thing, even though the matches were kind of just average at times, this match was just nothing. But I would say the nails was the Virgil, man. But the whole reaction, the whole, when the fans actually made this, that's the thing actually. The fans is very very important. The crowd is very important in pro wrestling, and if they can do anything interesting, you would be get out of the boring match as well. And this was boring because this was nothing. And Earthquake got the hot tag to a big ovation and a hip toss sent Bio across the ring, followed by a belly to belly suplex. Blake went into the ring. Quack actually knocked them down with a double shoulder tackle, and Typhoon sent Blake out of the ring. Corner splash by Quack on View, followed by a power slam and running splash by Quack, get to the pinfall victory. And that was this match, just a match, boring tag match. And this was the ending. And this was, I would say, this was another second weakest match. No man, there's another match also coming, and which is also a very weak match. And as much as people say this is a rank, still ranks that people rank, and when the wrestling websites ranks that one of the best SummerSlam pay-per-view, it's all due to match that you know about, and we will be getting into that. And we had another update from Lord Alfred Ice was outside the Ultimate Warriors dressing room, thinking Mr. Perfect was in there, and Hayes actually opened the door briefly. Kind of he thought about that maybe Mr. Perfect is in there. Kind of he said that he listened a sound from there, and but somebody threw something at the door and he closed it down, and he just like afraid kind of thing. And so just another thing to hype up the into the main event going forward. And I genuinely very loved it this. And we get to the next match, Crush versus Repo Man. Nothing match. The Repo Man looks like a thug from the who has been run away from the prison. And Crush was a face at this time, and Repo Man was the heel. And they were both in Demolition tag team when Repo Man was using the Smash name, and he then changed completely into this Repo Man character. And this was nothing match, a squash match where actually Repo was trying to get offense on Crush, but Crush was no selling it. And in the ending of this match, Crush did the power kick out. Repo goes up to the top rope. He jumped off, and Crush hit a power slam, and Crush applied his cranium finisher and kind of a Kali finisher, and for a submission victory, which didn't look kind of a believable. Kali doing it looks like a believable thing, and just nothing. And we get to a video package leading up to the Savage versus Warrior match, with Savage attacking Flair and Perfect after a promo, while Warrior actually saved Savage. The story was furthered by more promos between the four men. There was also a tag match with Warrior and Savage against the Nasty Boys at a time before this, and that led to more problems between Warrior and Savage, and it also led to Flair and Perfect attacking Warrior, and the Nasty Boys attacked Savage with chairs as well. So the story was going pretty good, and I was very hoping to that match to come. And finally that match is going to come, the Macho Man Randy Savage versus the Ultimate Warrior for the WWF Championship, or the WWE Championship now you can say. And this was a huge match. And this was I don't know much very before. I mean, before the back, I do know that what's it for. And this is a whole situation of Mr. Perfect, whose position is he's gonna be. And that was the whole thing that they were touting it as. Apart from that, I didn't know about the story. But man, this was so much. I mean the whole reaction, and the whole the presentation, and the entrance and all. And at this time, both guys were face, and very very popular by the fans. Randy Savage as well as Ultimate Warrior. And I think Ultimate Warrior was on the verge of getting fired in 1992. I watched the biography, and I remember that. And Warrior was at the peak, and even though both of them get the great excellent reception from the crowd, excellent ovation from the crowd, the Ultimate Warrior was the one who was getting very largely cheered and largely get ovationed by the crowd. And this actually match began with Savage wanting a handshake, but Warrior shook his hand, and then it began after some aggressive shoving. And fans were cheering for both guys at this time. And this match, I would say that the this match was very good match, very good match. Not in a bad manner. I'm saying I really very loved it. Loved this match. The whole Savage. The Savage tactics and his experience, and Ultimate Warriors, the over the top character that he had. And Savage kind of doing anything to retain the title, while Warrior want to have that WWE Championship, just to taste that goal with the very first time, I would say, at this time. And the early on this match, Warrior worked over Savage in the corner with punches. Savage took control through a clothesline that sent Warrior out of the ring. And back in the ring, Savage hit a double axe off the top. So Savage was into the offense first, and then announcers, actually the commentators were talking about, Bobby Heenan and Vince McMahon were talking about where Mr. Perfect is, as Savage got an inside cradle for two. Savage hit a neck breaker, and the reaction, man, the near falls and the moves that we're getting, the reaction was huge. It was huge, man. It was so great. And Savage hit a neck breaker that didn't look great. And this was the point of the selling for Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior was selling the neck very good, I would say, but not into a level of Randy Savage, man. Randy Savage is a very good seller, great seller. And Savage continued on offense by sending Warrior throat first in the top rope. Savage was selling a back injury very really well. And I think so this they had this attack before. That's what he was kind of selling it, because the match didn't have kind of something that damaged his back or something. So I thought about that's the thing. And Savage was against the ropes. Warrior charged, and Savage ducked, and Warrior went crashing over the top to the floor. Savage up top, and he connected the double axe handle smash. And the duo Mr. Perfect and Ric Flair finally comes up, and they kind of stands in the side of the ring, and kind of in the ring side in the middle, like they are choosing which type to choose. And I did know about what was going on, because I have watched this before. And that was an interesting situation, and the fans were speculating what could kind of happening. But the reaction was top notch, man. The match was great. And early on, after they come up, Savage actually more perfect actually holds the knee of Savage, which led to Savage actually falling down into the ring. And that was, and then Ultimate Warrior didn't see, and the commentators said that Ultimate Warrior actually sold down by Mr. Perfect. He gave him money to attack this. Yeah, Savage. And that was the thing. And then Ultimate Warrior also was getting the same thing. And then commenters also told that Savage actually paid more Mr. Perfect to attack Warrior. And such a perfect thing, I would say. I would say, even though the interference was going on, it was still interesting to see, because this was a storyline that was progressing. This is not just like just for the sake of it, because if you don't know the story, you would be like, man, I was so enjoying this match, I'm not getting the vibe that I had. And but if you know the story, because they were going to have Flair getting the opportunity for the championship, so he wanted that championship. So that was it. That was the thing they actually were going into. And there was a spot by the turnbuckle where Warrior actually whipped Savage in, and Savage actually kind of hit the referee Earl Hebner, and Warrior with a body slam then. And then hit a double axe off the top rope. Savage with a knee to the back of the Warrior, who went into ref and sent the ref out of the ring. Savage hit a pile driver on Warrior. Savage checked the ref while Perfect held up Warrior for Flair. And Perfect held up Warrior for Flair and nailed Flair with a punch to the face using brass knuckles. And Savage didn't see he was in the ringside. The ref was also down, and Savage went up, hit the flying elbow drop. Hebner comes up slowly, getting into the fantastic near fall, and the near falls was so great reaction, man. And Warrior did his no sell routine, his comeback, and his he comebacks where with a good plus slam, back with the chair shot, and then Savage went up top while the ref was dealing with Perfect on the floor. And in the ending of this, Savage turned to Flair and jumped towards him, and because he known that what they were doing, they were doing what they shouldn't have to be, and they were distracting them, and they were involving them in this match. Savage known about, and but Flair avoided that jump from the Savage, and hit a chair to the knee, and the ref counted Savage out of the ring. And I would say that was a fast count, man. Very fast count by Earl Hebner. And Earl Hebner is always one of the controversial referee. I mean, he was from the 1992. I thought about he was from 1997. No, he was in 1992 as well. He just plays that character very well, I would say, at that time as well. It was not like that, even though, but the count was fast, I would say that. But this was a story, and I would say the very good match with the involvement, and that led to a story, because it was a 30 minutes match, but it didn't felt like 30 minutes match, man. It was so entertaining, it was so fun, it was so breezy to watch through. It was so very good match. The match quality kind of hurted, I would say, with that involvement and all, but it is what it is for that story. And the story was going into that Perfect and Flair were working with somebody, even though they were causing havoc at inside. And that was the story, and the drama that actually built into the whole show, that was good, that surrounded that match. That's still good, and that's still holds true to this generation as well. And post match, we saw Flair attack Savage outside the ring with the figure four leg lock very brutally, and Savage sold to Perfect, and Perfect stomped away. Warrior left the ring on the other side as he stumbled over towards Savage on the floor. And Ultimate War, Savage was still selling that so great, and it was kind of overselling, but he was selling perfectly, man. You cannot take him away from that. And the selling department, the prize goes to the Macho Man Randy Savage. He was so good. And Flair went for a chair attack, but Warrior grabbed the chair from him. Flair and Perfect ran away, while Warrior had the chair with him. And the post match closing, the faces were having the hand up raised, both of them. And Ultimate Warrior took Savage to the back, and that was the ending of the match. So this also was a face versus face, and another face versus face main event was also coming up, and we get to an Undertaker match after this. Undertaker versus and this was a story actually going forward for the WWE Championship. And Savage selling the knee was a key to the story. And a few days after this, actually Flair actually faced Savage for the WWE title, and he lost to Flair at a TV taping, and Flair won the title. And then knee injury was a part of that story, of that match. And Flair and Perfect were interviewed by Mean Gene, and Perfect said that this was a plan. This was the plan going forward. And we get to the segment where Flair and Perfect were interviewed by Mean Gene, and Perfect said that Plan B is in full effect. Flair complained about how he should have got the title shot to begin with, but this is the perfect plan that we have thought about, and this is how we actually thought about it, and this is how it ended. And he is coming for the WWE title, Flair says, and that was it. And Flair ended up getting the title actually, and the long-term story was going to be Savage and Warrior versus Flair and Razor Ramon. It's Survivor Series, but Ultimate Warrior actually quit the company, and we all know what happened before Survivor Series, and which led to Perfect turning face and going up against Ric Flair. So going up against Ric Flair and partnering with Perfect, partnering with Savage, and that was the story going forward. And the next match was the Undertaker with Paul Bearer versus Kamala. And me watching this match, I would say that this match was also just kind of an average. or awful match you can say. But man, the Undertaker itself, his embodiment, his a character, man. It's just his aura, his presence is so much to do with. And the fans were, he was not very over kind of thing, but fans were liking his character, his mystique around that character. He actually not selling the thing that that other their heels actually get. And Kamala's reaction was so great, because this was a very short match, a 3 minute match. Undertaker did a slow kind of thing, top rope walk into the punch, and another was tried by Undertaker, but that didn't get Kamala attacked outside the ring by sending Taker into steel steps. Great heel, good heel by Kamala as well. Kamala did his jobs. Kamala is so funny to look, man. His whole walking and all, and his he just passed away last year. Rest in peace, Kamala. And Undertaker came back with a choke slam. He did it very bitter just picking up, man, and but still look very cool, I would say. And Taker hit the leaving clothesline after that, which isn't what we see from the Undertaker after the choke slam. And Kimchi, his manager, bent onto the ring and hit Undertaker onto the ribs, and ref sees that and he called for the disqualification. So that was the ending. And I would not go into a very bad kind of ranking, because this is Undertaker. I have a feeling for Undertaker, and this is historical, man. Seeing Undertaker, his just beginning, he actually began in 88, 89, I think so. And he was just beginning. And that character being character being watching that character is so great, man. Still it's very believable kind of thing. And that's one of the thing that people say have a lot of time. One of the last person actually who actually hold that kayfabe, the so-called kayfabe, I would say that. And this post match, we saw Kamal actually continued the attack with splash in the corner and body slam, and we were going to get something kind of extraordinary, because we knew that Undertaker is not human. Joking, guys. And Kamala went to the middle rope and connected with a splash again. And Kimchi told again to do that, but is this Kamala actually goes to the top rope by listening Kimchi. Kamala jumped and hit a splash again, which looked uh, very funny splash by Kamala. The whole character, it's so funny. And Heenan said, "We have seen the end of the Undertaker," and it was too much funny after this. And Kamala left the ring, and Undertaker sat up in his own style, like no selling, and the crowd loved it. And the Undertaker slowly followed Kamala, and Kamala's reaction, man, you should see this reaction, the $1 million reaction of Kamala. And he's just shocked to see Undertaker not selling the three splashes that he gave, and he's just shocked. And that was the ending. I would say this was a fun thing. Still, it was nothing. I know that. And we were all waiting for that main event to finally happen. And this was the match, and we finally get into the main event. Before that, we got a Davies Boy Smith, or British Bulldog, interviewed by Sean Mooney. And the locker room, Bulldog said he's fought hard for 2 long years to become the number one contender for the IC title. And Bulldog said that when he steps in the ring with Bret, it will be as if he doesn't know him. But the end of it, he hopes that the family can unite after the match. And Bulldog said performing in front of 80,000 people is a dream for him, and it's a dream that he will be the Intercontinental Champion. And that was a promo, good promo, very good promo by British Bulldog. And then Bret Hart had a promo, the Intercontinental Champion, said that he was one that introduced Bulldog to his sister, and that Bret helped him in his professional career in WWE as well, growing his character, growing his career. And Hart said that Bulldog is the one responsible for the family tension that's going on, because he actually challenged him, Bret Hart, for the title, because he's the one that wanted a shot at the gold. And Bret ended it saying here that he's going to win, and he's very confident, and a bit of a overconfidence that he had, and a bit of a slightly heelish angle that he was teasing here. And but still, this was a face versus face match, clearly. And we get to the entrance part, and the entrance, you should watch this, man. The crowd was so mesmerized by the end. Both of them were getting cheered a lot. I mean, I would say, ultimate sorry British Bulldog was getting slightly the reaction was larger than the Bret Hart, but it is very minute, I would say. Uh, just saying, but both of them got a great ovation, excellent ovation, and that actually sets the mood for the main event. And we had Lewis, one of the Olympic gold medalist in boxing for Canada at that time in 1988. He was from Great Britain, and he was a pro boxer, and he actually was accompanying British Bulldog and actually flagged kind of hoist the flag of England, and and Bret Hart comes up. His entrance is there, and he's got a great ovation. And as I said, it wasn't very loud as Bulldog, but he was going to be a rising star. Bret Hart, he was just getting transited into the WWE Championship picture into the future. We know that how actually he became into that one of the best superstar of the 90s, and finally getting in the match. This was this in the early point of this match, both of them were having trying to overpower each other with their power advantage, but Brett got some couple of near falls. Bulldog kind of uses his power to take down. Bulldog got a near fall, and after that, and the whole mood, man, the crowd was it was deafening right there, and it was deafening because the crowd was the only thing that the crowd was so much excited, Uh, so much into this match, man, and I was so excited to see. And I'm not taking away the match, man. This match was very good, and equally the crowd was supporting because of the match. It was very good, very good match. And Bulldog got a near fall, worked on hard with a armbar, and the crowd chanted for Bulldog. They got kind of in a vertical position. Bulldog ran the ropes and hurt him with a knee. And there was also a point where Brett actually was actually converting into a kind of heelish tactic, where he was kind of getting into frustration mode, kind of a heelish things as well. He was doing picking him with the hair and stiff strikes to his face, booting him up, and he was getting into that, and he was getting somewhat boos sometimes. And Brett went up top at a moment of this match, which was not a usual spot for him, and Bulldog slammed him down. And Bulldog up top, he went for a leaping attack, and Hart moved out to avoid it. So Hart was kind of having an ex story where he was telling that you cannot be better than me, and I am the good, I am the greatest one, and you are not, kind of thing. Even though it's a face-based situation, but it was clearly that Bulldog was getting rooted, and they did a spot where Brett used his momentum to send Bulldog out of the ring as the fans booed because they wanted Bulldog to win, and it's obvious. And they did also a spot where Brett did a slingshot over the top and ends up putting Bulldog in a nasty landing for Bulldog, and Hart drove Bulldog into the ring post and rolled him back into the ring. So that was the one of the sequence of that match. And as I said, Hart was mostly in control in this match. He was having a chin lock for extended amount of time, some punches, some drop kicks, some control segments. I would say this match in the middle of this match was getting into slow manner, kind of in autopilot mode. And in at the and the going into the ending of this match, it actually picked up, and it actually picked up the crowd so much, man. Double fold. And they did a spot where Bulldog did a gorilla press slam, and Hart was sent groin first into the middle turnbuckle. And in the ending of this match, we were seeing Bulldog hit the running power slam, which was his finisher, and Brett kicked out at two. Bulldog was shocked by it, and it was rare to see at that time kicking out finishers and all. Bridging German suplex, which was also a great maneuver from Bret Hart, which got a great ovation from the crowd, and that didn't get Bret Hart the victory, and that was had a shocking reaction from the commentators, Heenan and Vince McMahon. The crowd was going crazy. Who was going to win? We didn't know that. They did a double clothesline spot, and both are even right now, because Bulldog is in his comeback moment, and The crowd was going nuts, very crazy, and the brain. Bobby Heenan also said that when they showed Diana was being shown in this match multiple times, her reaction and all. She also had an interview as well, kind of before the match, where she didn't want to see this. Her brothers kind of fighting it out, but she after this match she didn't want to have their relationship damaged. That's she wanted to. It's way above than the title and all the things that's been going on, going to go down in the match. She said, and she ends that promo and then Bret actually whipped him to the ropes, sunset flip, bulldog dropped to his knees, hooked the arms, leaned across forward, and 1, 2, 3, and you could say that this is just a shocking ending. I mean, we didn't thought about that this would be kind of ending at this time, and this was still unreal kind of thing. And I would say the story was that he outsmarted, and that's what the story. Bulldog actually outsmarted Bret Hart, and he was the better wrestler there, and very loudest ovation that Bulldog got in. We can say in WWE history, and Vince wasn't very Vince was mesmerized at that moment, and he said, "What a SummerSlam! What a SummerSlam!" And he let the moment being played out as a $1,000,000, and which is just so much good moments, man. I haven't had at SummerSlam where I would say that was very happy, had a great happy moment. And this was one of the SummerSlam. You can say that at this point you pretty much forgot what you see. Did you think about Nails versus Virgin? No, man. And did you think about Kirsch versus Repo Man? No. This are the two. I mean, I would say that I didn't remember Ultimate Warriors Randy Savage as well sometimes. This match actually took up the whole show's. I mean, the whole show's mentality and the whole rankings to a upper echelon to the whole new level, and that's why this is one of the best SummerSlam that it's still considered. It's very nuanced thing that actually makes a pay-per-view excellent. And it just a thing that actually clicks, and this thing actually clicked it up very well at that time. It's gonna be clicking so much well and then this time. And winner by pinfall, new Intercontinental Champion Davey Boy Smith, or British Bulldog. And rest in peace, British Bulldog. He's one of the greatest wrestler to ever lace up the boots. He didn't get the WWE title, I think so. I'm very sad that he didn't get that. But man, he was the greatest wrestler. And 5 stars for this. I would say the psychology, the story, the emotion that they bring about, so much good. And the match itself, great, man. And I would say, and in the ending of the match, Diana comes up, and Diana hugs it out, both of them. And they actually Vince actually calls it like signs of it, what a SummerSlam. And what a match. This has been a family affair. This has been SummerSlam in its patented way. And fireworks actually went off in the stadium as the pay-per-view got over. And this was a such a good, I mean, excellent ending, man. The pay-per-view, I would say, at this time, considering this, I want to rank this pay-per-view as a whole. I want to say about as a whole pay-per-view, I would say this was a great pay-per-view. And even though the Crush Repo Man and the Nails Virgil, that's nothing match. Undertaker Kamala, that was also nothing. Just a historical standpoint, you can say Undertaker. I mean, character and all. But the other than that, what was bad? The Beverly Brothers versus the that tag team. What's the Earthquake tag team, and that was also just very boring. But I would say the crowd made one of the thing that made this one of the best SummerSlam is the crowd, man. The crowd made this so much better, so much great. That I wanted to say. And another thing was the main event. It stole the show entirely, and entirely. And after leaving the show, you would be remembering this pay-per-view only because of this match. No, any other match you will not be remembering after so many years. I'm guaranteeing about that. So I would say this was a very feel good SummerSlam, and this kind of feel good SummerSlam I haven't seen. I haven't seen. I don't know. Uh, I haven't seen many SummerSlam or so in 90s. So that's why I'm saying I don't know. But this is one of the SummerSlam I'm saying, and so that was a great pay-per-view that I would say that. And this was 2 hours 45 minutes as well. So this was a paper, you guys. I hope you liked my review and the discussion and my thoughts on the matches and the whole SummerSlam 1992 pay-per-view. And I will see you guys in the next one. Before that, I will want to sure know about your thoughts as well on this one of the best SummerSlam of all time, the SummerSlam 1992. And I'm leaving, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. And then be safe, stay energetic, and peace.